you for joining us. We're on with some members of the press, and we'll take a few questions from them shortly. This is our main event for Saturday's three-fight card on Showtime. Angelo is going to fight for the vacant WBO Junior Featherweight World Championship. Angelo is undefeated at 19-0 with 9 knockouts. And you're ranked in the top 5 across 3 sanctioning bodies, number 2 in the WBO, 3 in the IBF, number 5 in the WBC, from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and now fighting out of Las Vegas and the Floyd Mayweather stable of fighters, which is growing and thriving. Promoted by Mayweather Promotions, Angelo Leo, thanks again for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Great. Can you, we're going to take some questions from the press. And again, a reminder to the press, use the raise hands function on the Zoom in order to get in queue. And I'll open up for you guys as we go. But for starters, Leo, tell us about your work and how you've earned this deserved title opportunity. Tell us about your physical and mental preparations coming into this championship fight.
Basically, this is something I worked my whole life for a world title shot, and I'm here now. So my physical preparation is, superior. It's been the best ever. I never had a camp like this. As far as my mental, it's also the same. I'm prepared mentally. This is the day that I've been waiting for, and I have to seize the opportunity.
Great. We did hear from Floyd Mayweather, I guess, on some social media, and there's been some talk swirling around. He's been in camp, perhaps giving you some pointers. Can you tell us a little bit about what Floyd's been helping with?
Yeah, he was in the gym a few weeks ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, just giving me some pointers, giving me some advice, working through the game plan and stuff like that. And along with what my team has to say, everything really meshed together.
Okay, great. We have our first 2 questions in queue. First is from Gerardo Arencibia. Gerardo, go ahead.
Hi, Leo. So my first question is, you're coming into this fight as a 3-1 underdog against an undefeated fighter. Floyd has faced similar odds early in his career. Has he reached out to you or offered you any advice, and what might he have said?
Basically, he just said to stay calm, just like any other fight, do what I do best. And basically, he gave me pointers on the game plan for the most part, none of the mental aspect. But I see where he's coming from. I know the mental state that Floyd has, and I learned from him. I learned from what he does, and basically, I learned from the best.
You made it a point to mention that Steph Fulton had been rocked in a few fights and hurt. Do you expect that you'll be able to do the same?
Definitely. It's one of those fights where I said that because, he talks a lot about his undefeated, how he's fought a lot of undefeated fighters, but, you read between the lines and you see that, he's been dropped, he's been rocked in those fights. So I just wanted to make that point clear that he's not untouchable and that I could, definitely land some good shots on him.
My last question is going to be, how big is the win for Albuquerque if you're able to accomplish this? We haven't seen a champ from Albuquerque in boxing, I think, since Tapia. Will you reach out to Tapia's people? Just kind of speak on that if you're able to pull this off.
It'd be a great win for Albuquerque. Albuquerque hasn't had a champion since Johnny Tapia. And, to become a champion after him, it would mean a great deal to me and a great deal for the city, of course.
Thank you very much. Best of luck.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Gerardo. We're going to go to Keith Idek of Boxing Scene. Keith?
Angelo, Stephen is obviously a very confident fighter. Do you feel he's overconfident going into this fight?
Possibly. Possibly. He's been talking a lot. And I know that, confidence is good. I have confidence. I think every undefeated fighter has to have the confidence, but I believe he's a little overconfident in this fight.
I'm not sure how much you pay attention to odds or anything, but he's a little more than a 2-1 favorite over you. Have you noticed that at all? And if so, has that motivated you or has it changed your mindset in any way?
I've heard about it, but it doesn't really affect me. I go in there and I do what I do best, and that's get the W. That's all that matters to me.
Thanks, Angelo.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Keith. We have another question from Reginald Woodson. Reginald, go ahead.
Hi, Angelo. Has it been a benefit to you, regardless if it's boxing and just in combat sports? There have been some events out here that have been crowd free. Has it been a benefit to you to watch any of that and maybe kind of gauge, what kind of difference that could present to you going into, your first title fight?
As far as the crowd, I believe it won't have an effect on this fight. I take it as a sparring, but it's going to be a little bit more intense. It's going to be with 8-ounce gloves, so it's going to be more like a sparring. And I'm a type of fighter. If I smell blood, I'm gonna go for the kill.
Got you. It seems like Fulton might be a unique style, maybe that you haven't quite come across yet in your 19 fights. But has it been a benefit to you being based in Las Vegas to get some guys in that could give you some looks that you could see in facing Fulton?
Definitely. Vegas was the move to Vegas was probably the best move I made in my career. I have seen the style in the gym. I've seen similar styles to his gym. Seen similar styles in the gym, and it's nothing I haven't seen before. So I'll adapt in the ring once I get in there. Make my adjustments, and ultimately come out with the victory.
All right. Last question. You sound pretty focused, and you've been on your run. Similarly, Fulton's been on his run. With this shutdown happening, how did you handle managing this downtime? And was it did you have to oversee like any of your own conditioning, or and then how was it kind of like sharpening your skills, knowing what you've been working towards?
It was like I treated this COVID like it never really happened. I always stayed busy. I always stayed consistent in my training. I was always running, doing my road work, doing my bag work. Always staying active, and because I didn't know when this COVID would end. And back in April, May, we were hearing that it was going to end in June. It was going to end in July. So we were ready ever since then. To fight in June, to fight in July. So it never really affected me. I always stayed busy.
All right. Thanks, man. Best of luck to you.
Of course. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Reggie. Are there any more questions for Angelo Leo? We can take them now. You can use the raise hands function on this Zoom. We'll stand by for just a minute and see. I have one coming in now from Sean Zittel. Sean, you want to go ahead?
Hey, Angelo, just one from me. How do you plan on getting to the inside? And, with a guy with Fulton who has the kind of movement and speed he does on the outside, how do you get there? And then how do you have success fighting him on the inside once you get there?
Just varying it up, switching it up. I have good footwork to get in the inside. I got great head movement. All that's going to play a key factor in this fight. As well as the boxing too. I know that he does have trouble with boxers. I've seen fights on him where he has trouble with fighters moving back on him. So whatever it takes to get the win, we're ready. We're prepared. We prepared to go inside, to box, anything.
Thank you, Angelo.
No problem.
Okay, Angelo, we appreciate your time. We're going to let you go. Thank you for being with us today, and good luck in preparations for Friday.
Of course. Thank you, guys.